Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Crouchshot Podcast. I'm Jay, and joining me as always is the man, the myth, the legend, Rob.
Hey guys.
What's going on, Rob?
Well, I started playing. I try. So I'm playing Dragon Quest again now, and I'm like
Nice.
pushing through it because I'm like 80% through, and I want to complete it because I don't like to be that far into a game and then not complete it. And it's not even a bad game. It's just I'm losing interest because I have the attention span of a child at this point, and so I'm trying to push through that at this moment, but. And then I'm also like going through my wish list on Steam right now and just buying up a bunch of games that have just been on my wish list for over a year. And I'm just like, I should try these and see if I like them. And I don't like them, and then I return them. So,
Are
uh,
you using the same money for each, or did you just buy them all?
um, I bought them all separately. I bought them all. Like, what do you mean?
Like one at a time? Like, are you just like, hey, here's $50 on Steam, and then I'm gonna buy this game, return it. If I don't like it, then use that same $50 to buy this game, return
Oh
it. Or
no,
did
I
you
kind of
actually
did
like
it.
just straight buy them all?
I kind of bought them all and then just returned
Oh,
them.
okay.
One of them I returned via PayPal, but the other ones I did via Steam. But
Hmm.
and then I just bought Stellaris, so I'm gonna try that out. Because
Nice.
my brother's a big fan. But in terms of the channel, so we've been having a hard time getting everyone on the same schedule, getting everyone together. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start releasing videos. And the I have a couple of videos already in my backlog I've been waiting on, and I'm gonna go ahead and just start releasing them, and it'll light a fire under my ass. Because if we come up, a week comes up, and if I don't have anything in the backlog, then it'll push me to just do something solo or something along those lines. So, because right now
Yeah.
things are just kind of a little too stagnant for my tastes.
Yeah, and that makes sense too. I mean, we all have our own things going on, so but at least we're getting some videos out there for now. Uh, and that should be pretty good. I think that's a good move.
So the first video is going to be Peekaboo.
Peekaboo. So that's the first one coming out.
Yep.
Now I know you guys recorded a couple other games. What other games do you guys have?
Oh, I actually have footage for a short video as well.
And I know
From
we played Pummel Party
Pummel
as
Party,
well.
Peekaboo. That might be it right now. Then I got some footage from another game that's I don't know if it's enough for one video by itself, so I might need do some other stuff, but
Yeah. All right. Well, it sounds good to me. Um, I think we should start go ahead and releasing some of that so everyone can look forward to that. As for me, still playing Greedfall, but I've been kind of. It's not that I'm falling off from Greedfall because I really do like the game. It's just my own personal preference. I've been playing a lot of fighting games lately. I hopped back on Mortal Kombat with the new Terminator DLC. It's pretty sweet. Uh, all the characters got like all new abilities and stuff like that too. At least for competitive ranked. So it's and that's just kind of the type of game I've been feeling lately. It's just like a fighting game or a shooter or something that I could just hop in, hop out. I'm still playing Gears, and uh, they have like this new loot system going on. I'm not sure if I like it yet, but they added a couple classic characters to the game, which is kind of making me want to go back and play some more. Like they added like pretty much a Carmine, and then they added General Ram. So that's pretty nice. But besides that, just a quick note we did try, me and you both tried Spellbreak, and I just want to talk about that
oh
for a little bit.
yeah, I might.
Uh,
Oh, that's the first video I should release because that's kind of relevant. So
like relevant.
yeah, it might not
Yeah,
be a very good video, but at least it'll show some stuff.
yeah, show some stuff about that game, and we got destroyed, man. I mean, that was like rough.
We had like
For
one
those of you who
sort
don't,
of good game maybe.
yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Spellbreak is a game on the Epic Games Store that is like a battle royale magic-based game where instead of guns, you pick up these gauntlets. And these gauntlets, they have different abilities, like different magical abilities and stuff like that. But it's pretty much a pretty standard battle royale, in my opinion. It didn't seem like it was anything like too crazy. I mean, you're able to like fly around like a mage. I mean, no, I guess not fly, float. Uh, but I mean, it had like cool ideas. The game didn't quite run that well on my computer, and I'm actually using the video of our gameplay as the background for this podcast, and so you'll probably see a little like juddering and some frame drops. So that's where that comes from. But yeah, the game. I don't know. Did the game run well for you, Rob?
Yeah, run like a dream for me. But I got a pretty beefed up PC, so
Yeah, mine's pretty average. So I don't know. But I don't know. I like the idea that the ideas it was presenting, but I didn't really care too much for it. Did you like it at all?
I have fun with it at times. I think I just sucked at it, but still, it was very basic. It's a cool concept. Here's the thing: the game is not worth $50. It
Yeah.
should be free.
Which I
It
don't
should be
know.
free. Shit,
I
because I mean
I
most
was
battle royales are free, right? Maybe not.
yeah, yeah.
Is
So
PUBG free, or
uh
do you have to pay for that?
no, PUBG was like $30, but that's still less than 50. And I was actually looking into the game a little bit. I don't know if it is going to be free to play, but the founders pack for right now is $50. So if you want to play right now, it is $50, but I don't know in the future when the game actually releases, like what that's going to be like. So I guess we'll see. And yeah, we're always having more fun when we're winning, and we kind of get wrecked, but still semi fun nonetheless. But let's go ahead and get into the news. So I have about eight-ish news stories. The last eighth news story I actually have for a bit of like a quickie rapid fire round of just kind of random stuff that isn't like stuff that we need to delve too deep into. Um, but yeah, about eight news stories here. So number one, Xbox Live change enables you to choose any gamer tag you want. And this comes from VentureBeat by Jeff Grubb. Quote, Xbox Live is changing the way gamer tags work. The service now enables you to change your name to whatever you want. Although you will get a numerical identify numerical identifier. That's a weird one. To go along with that. Of course, you still can't use a lot of hateful or suggestive words. And the maximum length of the gamer tag maxes out at 12 characters. So I think this is really cool because I think PlayStation should do this because I had to change my name when PlayStation finally came out with their name changes and they had a free one that you could do. Man, I went through so many of my classics and I couldn't get a single fucking one without having to put XOXO, you know, in the beginning or end.
I don't know.
But
My names still aren't used anywhere, so both my
really?
usernames, Falafor and Grayandar. Um, yeah, no one uses those, which is crazy. But
Yeah, that's very lucky. But I'm pretty stoked about this, and I hope other people do that. And because I know Blizzard does that. Blizzard, you can have any name you want, and it just kind of gives you like a number at the end, like a little soft number at the end.
well, I like that. It makes
Um,
sense because with with the growing amount of people playing and joining the Xbox community, and then the people who are just disappear and gamer tags just become dead, it's a natural evolution, in my opinion. I mean, Steam's been doing it for years, where you can just have whatever name you want. But um,
yeah, and I think that influenced it a lot too, because now that you have the Xbox Game Pass on PC, you have all these PC players just flooding, Xbox, and a lot of them are probably making new
that's
accounts if they've
true.
never had an Xbox before, so they're just kind of making new accounts, and there's just too much. But I think it's an awesome, awesome change. So really, really cool. Number two. So leaked upcoming Steam games for 2019. This is on Twitter by at SteamDB. This dude is pretty accurate about most things. He predicts pretty much almost every sale that happens. And so we have the Halloween sale coming up October 28th through November 1st. And then the autumn sale from November 26th through December 3rd. And then the Christmas winter sale from December 19th to January 2nd. Uh, and according to him, there's been multiple developers kind of posting the same information all over the place, all over Twitter and Reset Era and things like that, just kind of confirming the dates. So pretty damn exciting for a Steam sale. So that's a couple days, like literally a week. I guess yeah, exactly a week from when we're recording this. We're gonna have the Halloween sale though, so that should be pretty awesome. Some horror games for you.
Hey, that's perfectly fine for me. In fact, that might actually give me some content for the channel because horror games are always perfect to record.
Yeah, exactly. And if there's some multiplayer ones, we could all get them because we're all pretty broke right
Speaking
now.
of that, speaking of horror games though, is we're all picking up Blackout Club, and we're gonna try to record that as one of our videos to post up.
Yeah, so that is on sale right now as well. I don't remember when that sale was ending, but yeah, Blackout Club. We're gonna check
Well,
it
if
out,
worst comes to
see
worst,
if we
you know it's
record
gonna
it.
be on sale during the Halloween sale.
Yeah, exactly. So that should be pretty awesome. So yeah, we got pretty damn official dates here for some Steam sales, and of course we all love to just lose all of our money and throw our wallets at the screens. So
Yay, less money.
yay. Uh, consumerism. Number three. uh, Call of Duty Modern Warfare post-launch approach to new content. So this actually comes from the Call of Duty staff on their on the Activision blog. Quote: "We are excited about what these changes will bring to Call of Duty players. That said, we also recognize that there is one more topic that fans are interested to learn about." So basically, they have crossplay. They have uh, no season pass or DLC,
Hmm.
which is like a first for Call of
Yeah, that's
Duty
crazy.
fucking ever. Like that's absolutely insane. Uh, and then all the maps are going to be free in the future, and all modes are going to be free in the future. Except for I guess you might want to buy on PlayStation, cough cough, uh, for that one specific mode. And they said that there's never going to be loot boxes ever. I don't know if I fully believe that, but instead they did say it was going to be a battle pass in the future that they're going to add. Uh, but yeah, that's a complete and
Well,
utter first
they're probably
for
trying to
Call of
remove
Duty in
loot
general.
boxes because all the European laws that have been going into effect that really affect that. So they're probably just trying to avoid that and finding other ways to make money. Battle Pass added later, that makes sense. I mean, isn't the Battle Pass, isn't that basically the season pass?
So the battle pass is kind of like what Fortnite does, or even like how like in TFT there that like team fight tactics thing at the bottom, like the more games that you play, the more like you encroach towards the reward.
Hmm.
That's a battle pass pretty much.
Okay.
So at least you know what you're getting because you can see ahead and you know what you're working towards instead of like a loot box, which is completely random. So it is a lot better in my opinion. I know a lot of people have problems with battle passes just in general, but all of these are an absolute first for Call of Duty, and I think that's fucking huge. I mean, crossplay. I even experienced that with the beta. They had a crossplay beta where you could play with people on PC and PS4 and Xbox like all together. The no season pass, that's unheard of. No D or DLC. So I'm not sure if they mean like the way they kind of put it on the website. To me, it sounds like they're saying like no DLC map packs, but I do think there's probably going to be like cosmetic DLC.
Like
Skins for your
microtransactions
guns.
for the cosmetics, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, which is understandable, which I don't mind. But all of that's the first for Call of Duty. It's kind of making me excited. At first, I was kind of like iffy about it with the whole them getting rid of the that mode for other people like on PC and Xbox. That survival mode is only on PlayStation. That kind of pissed me off. But I don't know. Seeing that like we finally have crossplay, we don't have to worry about maps like in map packs and all that bullshit, man. They're finally getting rid of it. It's huge.
Well, we'll see how that actually pans out. But I mean, they it's Activision. Everything that they're doing is for money. So what they're doing right now, there's something up their sleeve. There's something they're doing. They're playing some type of game. I'm not for sure. I'm not really privy on the whole situation, so I can't really kind of put my 2 cents in like I would normally would in terms of like knowing all the context. But they're doing something because they want to make money. They're not going to just sit here and do this out of
Yeah.
goodwill.
Yeah, that is very true. There is a lot of bad blood out there with kind of these game companies milking everyone for their money, so I guess they're trying to capitalize on that, which I guess is good for us. Number four. Blizzard denies reports that it's banning Twitch viewers for pro Hong Kong chat. This comes from Charlie Wood and from Business Insider. This is a quote from Blizzard saying, "We are not banning people from Twitch chat for specifically using pro Hong Kong speech or any other political statements. Bans are being levied by an automated monitoring system that's triggered by viewers spamming any phrase repeatedly. We expect to have the issue corrected in the next few hours. Uh, so Blizzard's still pretty much under fire for fucking everything. And that's kind of what I wanted this news topic to just overarch and be about. But this specifically is bullshit. I mean, it really is bullshit. They even have on Business Insider on this article, they have a screenshot of people getting banned just instantly for saying like "Free Hong Kong," and then it says, "Hey, this person's banned for 24 hours, a whole week, however much." And they're not spamming it. Like they're saying it once. If you said it once, and there's been reports of people just saying it once, they're not spamming. Which so that entire statement that they gave is complete and utter bullshit. I mean, can you trust Blizzard anymore, man?
No, no, you can't. I don't trust any fucking large company. I mean, even Steam, probably one of the most trusted companies for in general. You know, they came out with those freaking paid mods. You know, like
Hmm.
y- you can't trust these big companies, man. Especially
Yeah,
ones that have shareholders, which Steam doesn't. But then that's probably why they're one of the better ones. But any company that has shareholders, you can't trust. Period.
yeah. And this just proves it, man. I mean, it's like blatantly obvious. There's screenshots, people are recording videos of it happening. Like, what do you mean you're banning people for like spamming the same thing repeatedly? Like, if you say once you get banned, that's not repeatedly. Oh man. And it doesn't even end there. There's been some like Congress people, and I'm not too big, I don't follow politics too much. But I do know AOC and a couple other U.S. politicians have even like questioned Blizzard's recent actions with all of their nonsense going on, banning people, making sure they can't get their fucking paychecks and shit, uh, and their winnings, you know, for pro Hong Kong stuff, and it's not looking good for them. And that actually leads us into number five, which is Nintendo, and yeah, Nintendo isn't promoting Overwatch Switch. uh, reportedly allowing refunds. This comes from Reset Era, a post on Reset Era, I should say, from Era 52, and he kind of just he made it a little easier because he put everything into one spot. But basically, here's what we know so far. So quickly, Blizzard throws. So Nintendo came out with a tweet, and Nintendo said uh, that the I'm just gonna paraphrase here that the Nintendo Overwatch of like launch event that was supposed to happen. There was supposed to have like a big tournament, big event happen in New York City this year for Blizzard and Overwatch. Yeah, that shit got canceled. Uh, and they also stopped just promoting any form of Overwatch on Switch. And then now there's been reports of people being able to just openly return it, like getting in contact with Nintendo, and you could just flat out return Overwatch. So even Nintendo, when it comes to Blizzard, is like backing the fuck away from that shit. Like they want nothing to do with
Yeah,
it, man.
I mean, this whole, it all comes down to China and Tencent, you know, like with their
Yeah.
connections with the NBA, with Blizzard, and other large companies. It's just, it's all just bad publicity at this point, and
Yeah, so if you go
it's
on
kind
your
of hard to just
Switch
talk
right
about. It's
now,
just annoying.
yeah, so if you go on your Switch right now and you go to like the latest news and newest releases, you won't find Overwatch on there. He even has a screenshot here of his Switch, and it pretty much like the newest game they're promoting is Witcher 3, and then the new Fortnite stuff, and then like Super Smash Brothers stuff, and but
Good. Stay away from
no
the controversy.
Overwatch. Yeah, they just straight up. And then not only that, apparently Overwatch runs like ass on the Nintendo Switch because their network, like connectivity stuff, is not good at all. I mean, like how many people do you know are like, oh man, Nintendo's online network is like so good, you know? You never hear that. So, and it also the game also runs at 30 FPS. So good luck playing McCree. So, yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Just for Blizzard in general, with BlizzCon right around the corner.
That's gonna be a shit
And
show.
yeah, so I was actually gonna add that to the quickie news, but I'll go ahead and talk about it here because we're just talking about Blizzard in general because they're just an absolute shit show. Is uh, there was a leak of some pamphlets of Diablo 4 like being announced and stuff, which they got to do something, man. I mean,
Yeah, but
if
Diablo
they
4 was
had
going to
to
be like
announce,
microtransactions and like
who knows? But at least it's not a mobile
subliminal
game this time.
Chinese anti-Hong Kong messages.
Can you imagine? Just picture this for a second. The same people come up on stage again and they announce any of their properties for fucking mobile ever again. Like at least not this year with this whole China shit going down. And obviously they're making Diablo mobile for the Chinese people pretty much. Like we don't really use too many mobile games here in America. So obviously Diablo mobile was to appease that Chinese audience. And then now this year they're like, hey, we're making Diablo 4, but I feel like they need something more than that, don't you? Like more than Diablo 4. Like if you're gonna take all the attention, the bad negative attention away from you, I don't know if just Diablo 4 for like PC or whatever and consoles is gonna fix it. So
Yeah, no, it's probably not, but who knows? Maybe it will. Like the attention span of the internet is very short, so
that's very true. Um, but I guess we'll see. If they announce anything for fucking mobile, I have a feeling everyone's gonna go ballistic. Anyway, on to number 6. So we finally got the system requirements for the Outer Worlds, and I put this on here because both me and you are super, super
oh
stoked.
yeah.
And I'm looking at it, and it looks pretty intensive to me.
Um
Uh,
yeah, a little
you
bit.
need a 1060, a GTX 1060 for
What do you
recommended,
have again?
a i7. Oh man, I have an R9 390,
Yeah, but I
so
feel like the
that's not gonna be.
recommended stats don't really reflect to actually what you can run these at. Granted, I clear all this stuff out of the water. I'm perfectly fine. But
Yeah, so this comes from the Obsidian.net forums, and so I'm just going to rattle off some of the system requirements here. So for the minimum requirements, you obviously just need Windows 7, but for the CPU, you need an i3, 3225, and 4 gigs of RAM, and a NVIDIA GTX 650 Ti or an AMD HD 7850 for a GPU. Then of course I think we talked about this at a previous podcast that it is going to be like 40 gigs of space, which is as reasonable for a game that looks like it's going to be pretty big. But those are pretty basic minimum requirements. For recommended, they want you on Windows 10. The CPU is a i7 7700K or Ryzen 5 1600. Now that's a lot, man. I feel like that's a pretty beefy
I don't
CPU
know, dude.
for
Risen 5
recommended.
1600 isn't exactly the beefiest thing ever, so
But the i7, yeah. I mean, I guess if you could compare those two, but I don't know. That seems pretty beefy to me. 8 gigs of RAM, which I'm sure most people probably have at these days. The GPU, yeah, is the GTX 1060 6 gigabyte or a Radeon 470. So I'm a generation behind here with my 390. So
yeah, but I
I
feel
don't know.
like your
We'll see.
390 is not gonna have any problems, dude.
Yeah, it probably won't. I just won't be able to run it like on max settings and all that goodness. But still stoked, and I'm still probably gonna play it on PC with the Xbox Game Pass. So, and that comes out fucking Friday.
I
So sick.
I'm excited.
Yeah, super awesome. So number 7. This one's crazy. So Google Stadia's odd negative latency feature actually a game changer by Nate Swenner from InsightsDice.com. Quote, if extreme frame rates don't work or can't happen, Stadia may try to predict what you would do while your connection lags. While it's unclear what steps Stadia might do or might take, can't fucking read, to predict input, it's possible the game may do things like eliminate random enemies or keep you from crashing in a race. Google hasn't divulged much on this front. So basically the article talks about that Google is coming up with this idea that they're pretty much going to predict what you're going to do to combat that latency issue that everyone complains about, because that was like my biggest complaint with Google Stadia was because I've tried like PlayStation Now, and my biggest complaint with that was the latency. Oh man, the input lag, all that kind of stuff. And now
Right.
they're just saying, hey, we're not gonna have that. You're gonna be able to play this like a normal console with by predicting what's gonna happen. And I don't. That's like some crazy ass technology right there if it actually works.
Yeah,
Like, how the hell do you know what I'm gonna do?
I can't imagine that being as great as they say it is. And on top of that, like one of the things you mentioned was eliminating random enemies. That's gonna be some like integration stuff. Like that's actually like the game is gonna have to be coded to interact with Stadia like that. That's crazy talk. Like that's a lot of money you're probably putting
I
into
know,
that.
right?
So
Yeah, that's crazy. So, are you excited for Stadia? Are you thinking
no, I
about
really
maybe
don't give a
trying it
shit.
out, or you don't care?
Nope, I probably won't even be
Yeah,
on my radar, dude. I got a PC. I don't need Stadia for nothing.
yeah. I think it's a cool idea. The fact that we could just like make any games that we want because instead of like being restricted to a PC or a console, you have like these giant data centers. But uh, the only thing that is really getting me to want to buy one is the I don't know how much exclusive they are. They might only be exclusive for like the first year or something. But you have that new Larian Studios games, that Baldur's Gate game. The guys who make Divinity 2, they're making a Dungeons and Dragons s game in the style of Divinity, and that's supposed to be coming exclusively to Stadia. As far as I know, there's no other planned release date for any other consoles. And then same with Orcs Must Die 3, which Orcs Must Die is like one of my favorite video game series ever. I played the shit out of the first one, played the shit out of the second one. The free to play one was okay. I didn't really touch that a whole lot, but uh yeah, Orcs Must Die 3 looks fucking phenomenal. When I saw it, I was like super excited, but then I saw it was only coming to Stadia. And apparently, like, instead of the usual like 20 orcs that run at you, it's supposed to be like 500 orcs running at
Holy
you
shit.
because the Stadia is like ultimate power. Yeah, so it's like insane. So I don't even know if those are coming to the next consoles. They probably will in the future. You know what I mean? But I mean, especially that Larian Studio ones, because I know me and you are we both played Divinity and Divinity 2, and those are some good ass fucking
Oh my
games. And
god,
the
yeah.
fact that we also play D&D, and the fact that they're making a D&D game and it's coming to Stadia pretty much for now,
Oh
it's like
really? I didn't know
shit.
that.
Yeah, yeah, it has no release right now for any other
Well, a
console besides
D&D game
Stadia.
might be worth trying out Stadia for because you don't need latency for that.
Yeah, exactly. So that is what has me gravitating towards Stadia a little bit, but as like a main console, that's not going to happen. That is absolutely not going to happen. All right, on to number 8. So this is going to be the rapid fire, kind of quick news. Uh, so there is a Gigantamax Pikachu coming to Pokemon Sword and Shield, and this comes by way of Christine Fisher on Engadget. And I don't know if you've seen the pictures of this. Fucking hilarious. It's like pretty much thick Pikachu from the old days, just huge as fuck. But any interest in Pokemon Sword and Shield?
Kinda, yeah. I kind of do want to try it out. I mean, just because it's different, it's new. Look, kind of they're changing it a little bit up in terms of at least the visuals. So yeah, I kind of do. All this kind of like weird like Ultra Super Pokemon and Gigantamax Pokemon stuff is kind of leaves a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. I don't like that, but I guess they got to go somewhere. They
Yeah,
can't
they
keep
gotta
on
add
adding Pokemon
something.
because we've seen like Chandelier Pokemon and fucking like just dumb
I
ass
know, right?
fucking Pokemon. So I guess they got to do something, right?
Yep, exactly. I just thought, I don't know if you've ever seen the picture. I implore everyone that's listening to this to look at the picture of Gigantamax Pikachu. He is big. Uh, Another one we have here is uh the world's biggest video game launched a massive update after going dark for 2 days. Here's everything that changed in Fortnite Chapter 2. This is by Kevin Webb. I'm from Business Insider. So I just wanted to go over kind of because we talked about Fortnite to a decent extent last week, but it looks like the new map is here. Uh, you have boats, you have fishing, there's actual water, there's all kinds of stuff here. All new guns, near new tiers for the guns, and then you have all new dances and everything else for all those Fortnite people out there that just absolutely love that shit. But again, still one of the coolest releases I've seen in a long time.
Well,
But
and
I still probably won't play. But
I've heard that they've really fixed a lot of stuff. Just from a it's less like a they fix a bunch of stuff and more that they fix the foundation. That's what I've heard, and so that's kind of a pretty good endorsement to
yeah,
be honest. And
mm,
I've never been a big Fortnite guy, and that's mainly because of the building. But
Same.
it
I
sounds
can't
like they're
stand building.
doing everything right now with Fortnite Chapter 2. So
Yeah. It was like Fortnite was barely dying off on like the Twitch charts and everywhere else, and then all of a sudden Fortnite Chapter 2 comes out and just blows everything out of the water again. So good on them. And apparently the graphics are better too. But whenever I was watching some gameplay of it, it didn't look too different to me. But I don't play Fortnite on a constant basis, so I can't really tell. Um, Another bit of news here: Final Fantasy 14 patch 1.5 trailer features Near Automata crossover, and this comes from Chris Moyes from Destructoid. And I wanted to throw this in here on some quickie news because I pretty much just got off a Final Fantasy 14 binge, and I actually love the crossover events that they do. They do a bunch of crossover events with like Final Fantasy 15 and 13 and 7 and like all these older Final Fantasy games. But on top of that, they had a Monster Hunter crossover, which was like absolutely phenomenal. And Nier Automata is one of my favorite games. So who knows? Maybe I'll hop back on and I'll try out this crossover just so I can get the stuff for it because Nier Automata is like one of my favorite games like in the past decade. So yeah, pretty stoked for that. Let's see here. Another one we have here is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is going to hit a target of 60 FPS on Xbox One and PS4 Pro. That is, of course, if you're playing on kind of like the rendered down mode. If you want to play on the actual like graphical mode, you have to pretty much go down to 30 FPS per usual. And nothing really too new here. A lot of games do that. I think it is interesting that these games are starting to look so fucking good, and they're running at 60 FPS though, like half the time. You know, if
it's
you
about
just want to
time.
play like the smoother frame rate, yeah, about damn fucking time. And I actually, and this was one thing I did want to ask you about, Rob, was so for me, I know you don't really play consoles, so this might not apply to you as much, but on the PS4 Pro, it does ask all the time, like, hey, do you want to switch to the graphical mode? But then the FPS becomes 30, but the graphics look like way better and it plays at 4K, right? Or do you play at like 1080p, 60 FPS, you know, with like a little less graphical, you know, stuff? Uh, what is kind of your preference on that? Because I typically go for the resolution and I go for the better graphics most of the time, and I just take that FPS hit. And I don't mind running games at 30 FPS if the game looks better.
I mean,
So I don't know.
I honestly don't know because I don't have a PS4 Pro and I play on PC mostly. So I have a 1080p monitor and everything's at 60 frames per second. So
So you'd probably go with that option then.
I guess so. But if I was on a 4K TV, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what 4K looks like, even though I have a 4K TV.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough. I just always think that's like really interesting because I know some people that like that are like, nah, fuck that 30 FPS shit, and they only go 60. So anyway, for one of the last bit of news here, quickie news. So Okami will return, says the game developer who loves to troll, and this comes from Nicole Carper from Polygon. So basically, in short, Hideki Kamiya, who used to be the director of the old Okami games. Have you ever played those?
I play like the first 30 minutes.
Really? See, I really like those games. I played them on PS2 back in the day. I know they came out with like a couple of remasters for like PS4 and like Switch and like all these other ones, but I never really played those. But the original was a super fucking like super fun game, and uh, the fact that he's teasing a second one, but we can't really trust him because apparently he teases a bunch of games and they never get done. So we'll see. But if you're excited for Okami, maybe it'll come back. Maybe.
Hey,
And then lastly, I just wanted to give a shout out to this week's Epic free games from the Epic Game Store. So you have Alan Wake's American Nightmare and Observer. So Alan Wake's American Nightmare is a standalone DLC pretty much for Alan Wake. It's a lot, you know, a little kind of shorter game, but pretty good nonetheless. And then Observer is one that most people should probably check out, especially since it's getting closer to Halloween, because it's kind of like a cyberpunky horror game, and I actually have that downloaded right now because I want to try it out
so do
because
I.
I've had that game on my list for a while, so
Should
hopefully
totally record yourself
it's good.
playing.
Yeah, maybe. Screaming like a little girl. Nah, maybe, but go and pick those games up, everyone. And I just always want to give a shout out because I know a lot of people shit on the Epic Game Store, and it sucks having another fucking browser, and it sucks having all these fucking browsers. You got Origins, you have the EA, Ubisoft shit too. Uh, so you know, Steam, Blizzard launcher, like all these fucking launchers. But Epic Game Store, I know got like a huge brunt of like shit, but they are still pumping out free games, so go grab them. And that is pretty much it for the news. I guess move on to some new releases this week.
All right, so we got the new games that are coming out this week. So the first one that I see on here is East Shade. Discover the beauty and the mysteries of East Shade as a traveling artist. So this, I don't really know anything about this. I mean,
It
what
looks
is
like
this?
a kind of like a first-person puzzle game
Right, kind of like The Witness,
for the most part.
Mist, kind of
Yeah,
inspired esque game. Um,
that's exactly what it looks like.
so more power to it. Not my type of game. I really don't know anything about it. Comes out October 21st, so today. For you guys might be yesterday for PS4 and Xbox One. Next we have The Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel 3. So coming out for PS4 on October 22nd. Now, this is an RPG franchise. I've heard about it. I haven't actually played any of it. I believe my brothers played quite a bit of the first one. Um, oh wow.
Yeah, I know the other ones came out on like I think they came out on Vita,
Yeah,
like
because
PlayStation
I
Vita.
think they weren't they
And
weren't they like 2D games if I remember correctly?
no, they were kind of like this, like a 3D like
Okay.
JRPG. The graphics obviously looked a lot worse because it was on Vita, but from what I understand, like so I'm a huge Persona fan, and like every single time I get like Jonesing for Persona, I'm like, no, don't play, Persona 4 for the fifth time. Uh, I always look up like, hey, like what's a good game that's like kind of like Persona, and this fucking game series comes up all the damn time. So I imagine it's a lot like Persona S, but I've never actually given it a shot, and I hear the games are 99 plus hours long on
Jesus.
PS Vita, and I don't even have a Vita. So, yeah, so it's, or at least not anymore. But from what I understand, it is like a turn-based strategy game where you are kind of like interacting with your teammates and talking to a lot of people and like making choices and uh, all that good stuff. And honestly, I've been wanting to give this game series a good shot, and I think the previous games did come out on PS4 recently. Again, just if I had the time and the patience, maybe if I had like a whole week off from work or something like that, I'd give it all a shot. But it looks cool. I mean, I think these games are. I hear a lot about them, a lot of good things. So pretty cool.
Next one we got is the new WWE game 2K20. Um, which I
Now,
used to play the hell out of these games when I was younger, and I'm not been really huge into wrestling in recent years. But I think this one's been getting a lot of hype, right? They've been hyping this one up quite a bit.
yeah. So they were hyping this one up quite a bit. But from what I understand from reviews, it's not looking too hot.
No?
Apparently, it's not reviewing very highly. I haven't specifically read the reviews per se, but from what I understand, this one, like the graphical differences and stuff, are pretty shocking. So we'll see when it actually comes out. But uh, uh, at least from like a glitchy graphical standpoint, from what I heard, it looks way worse than
Well,
2019.
that's kind of
So
shocking to think about. Like how do you make it worse? Because it's
how do
basically
you
the
go
same engine, right?
backwards?
So how are
Yeah,
they?
but apparently it's a different studio working on it this time. From
Oh,
what I understand, it's a different
oof.
studio that kind of got it, and they're working on it. And yeah, the graphics. There's this little video, and I implore everyone to go ahead and look it up on YouTube. There's this video of a comparison where this like one wrestler chick. I'm not too big into wrestling, so I don't really know their names, but she like twirls her hair, and in 2019 she comes in with the same entrance, twirls her hair, and you actually see the hair physics. But in this, like everything is like so static that like the hair's like clumped together,
How?
and
How does that
it looks
happen?
rough. Exactly, I have no
Just use the
idea.
same
So from what
animation.
I've yeah, so from what I've seen and heard, just kind of like perusing the internet, is not looking too hot. But we'll see when reviews actually do come out, which should probably be like soon.
So next game we got coming out October 22nd is Moons of Madness coming out for let me double check. Coming out for PC, PS4, Xbox One. And so this looks like so it's a horror game, first-person horror game. I don't know the exact premise, but I know it's a very Cthulhu-inspired um, space game, which
Yeah.
is actually
Yeah, if you
super
like
interesting.
yeah, if you like games like Call of Cthulhu that came out or The Sinking City, I would suggest you pick this one up. This one's supposed to be pretty damn good. Yeah, it's a first-person horror game, and it's kind of based on uh, all that Cthulhu type stuff. I'm trying to remember what, for some reason, I'm blanking on the guy who actually wrote Cthulhu.
And to be honest, I'm probably gonna end up checking that game out.
H.P.
Oh
Lovecraft.
yeah,
Oh
HBO.
man,
Yeah, Lovecraft stuff.
gosh, I don't know why I was like blanking. But yeah, H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah, if you like Lovecraftian horror, this game actually looks sick. I've seen a couple different trailers for it, and it looks absolutely sick. I was planning on getting it. It is I can't believe it's coming out tomorrow though. Like that's so quick. I thought it was coming out next year.
Really? Next
That's
year?
insane. I didn't even. Yeah, I thought it was like coming
That
out
that
next year,
is
so I wasn't really paying too much attention. But
very abrupt, I would
I guess it's
assume,
like
for you.
yeah. I'm just like, what the hell? Like this is just coming out of nowhere. But it is a game I plan on getting in the future. Maybe waiting for a sale, but we'll see.
The next one, I'm gonna probably skip over this one real quick, is Street Outlaws: The List, which is apparently a street racing game based on the Discovery Channel reality TV series Street
Oh
Outlaws.
boy.
So I think that's enough said there. It's based off a TV show. It's actually kind of surprising because they don't really make those low budget games anymore, um, as often as they
That is
used to,
true.
where that stuff was
It's very
churned
true.
out. Next, we got Beholder 2 coming out for PS4 on October 22nd, a sequel bureaucratic ministry work simulator set in a totalitarian state. I don't really know anything about this game. It originally came out in 2018, I think, on PC, and it looks like it's been out on Switch and all that stuff. There's not really much I can find on it, just based off of what I'm
Yeah,
looking.
so I know a little bit about like the first one, and that was kind of like a little adventure game, but it wasn't anything. I don't think that was too special that everyone was like raving about. So,
Next, we got Maryskelter 2 coming out for the Switch. What the hell that is, I don't know.
huh,
I guess
looks like some kind of Japanese anime
yeah,
type
came out on the
stuff.
PS4
If
first.
you
Crawl
like
through
that stuff.
dungeons as a fairy tale inspired character, each with deeply customizable classes. So it's definitely like kind of one of those very Japanese RPGs.
Yeah, kind of like something that NIS would make. It kind of looks like something like that.
Next, you got Destiny Connect TikTok Travelers coming out for Switch, PS4, Switch and PS4. What is this? I've never even heard of this.
Destiny
An
Connect.
RPG developed by
TikTok
Nippon
Travelers.
Ichi about a young girl named Sherry that must save her hometown that has been frozen in time with the help of her childhood friend and a time traveling robot she discovered in her father's office. Well,
Looks kind of like a Japanese adventure game,
yeah, the art
to
style is
me.
very different. It kind of looks like you're walking around a town, turn-based action. This game could be good. Who knows? Probably
Yeah.
very
All the
story
pictures
oriented.
I'm seeing are Japanese, so I imagine this has been out in Japan for a while, and now we're getting it here in the States.
It could be. It very well could be. But that might be one to look at if you're into Japanese RPGs because it actually does look pretty decent.
Yeah, a lot of Japanese games coming out this week.
Yeah, like Raging Loop coming out for Switch and PS4 as well. An adventure game developed by Kemco that is based on the werewolf game, also known as
Is
Mafia,
that like,
where a group of people find
oh,
themselves
that's
trapped
like
in a
Ultimate
mysterious
Werewolf?
forest. So, like Town of Salem, I guess, where you're trying to.
Yeah, Town of Salem. There's a board game called Ultimate, like One Night Ultimate Werewolf and stuff like that. So I mean, I guess that's kind of cool. You kind of have to figure out who the werewolf is in town, like a visual novel type thing.
Um, Skullgirls Second
Cause I,
Encore coming out for Switch, so just the re-release of Skullgirls for Switch.
yep,
Spin Rhythm XD Early Access for PC.
early
Yeah, this is
access.
where the early access
Hmm.
is on this list. It looks
Yeah.
like a Guitar Hero-esque game, so it might be worth checking out. Who knows? Um, you have Corpse Party 2: Dead Patient coming out for PC. Do you know anything about Corpse Party? You ever heard of it?
Uh, that I'm pretty sure that is like a visual novel, right? Like a horror visual novel.
Yes, it's a horror adventure game. A visual
Yeah.
novel-esque. It looks like you control your character moving around the environment.
Oh, do you? Okay. I thought it was just like a plain visual novel. Yeah, you're right. It does look like you move around.
Um,
That's kind of cool.
yeah, just another Japanese game. Restless Hero, coming out October 24th for PC. A deliberately retro fantasy platformer. Deliberately retro. I'm actually gonna look
Yeah.
up
I
some
think
pictures
I
for
think
this.
that is an actual I think I've heard of this game and I believe it is a mobile game.
Oof, it's not what I want to hear,
But
Jaden.
I believe it's coming out I think it's coming out now on PC.
Yeah, it looks pretty
Man,
retro.
I cannot stand mobile games. And yeah, I just looked, yeah, it is a mobile game. So, man, I can't stand. I don't know. So, just to have a quick discussion out off of this, do you play any games mobile? Because I fucking hate mobile games, dude. I can never get into them. I literally fucking can't stand them.
Not really. I think
I
the one
never
that
like to play games on my
I
phone.
think the one that I put the most time into is probably outside of I was about to say Castle Crashers. Outside of
Hmm?
oh man, I'm gonna forget the name of this. Clash of Clans, because my family's big into that, and I kind of somehow weaseled my way out of it. But Kingdom
Huh?
Hearts Unchained, I really enjoyed, but it was just too much of a money sink to keep me on as a regular. If it was like if they made me sink in like $20 a month, then
Yeah.
they'd probably have me hook, line, and sinker. But no, they basically said, "Fuck you, we want like $100 a month," and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to have to
Huh?
spend that money to keep up. So
Jeez.
next we got Dark Devotion coming out for Switch and PS4 on October 24th. It's a Templar
Uh,
themed action RPG for consoles and PC.
it looks a lot like Blasphemous. Like everything I've seen about this game is like Blasphemous pretty much. It's very pixel arty and it looks like it's a Metroidvania where you're kind of getting gear for your character and getting new abilities. It doesn't look that bad though. Like
Huh.
honestly, I haven't heard much of like besides like seeing a single trailer of it. But it looked cool.
Yeah, no, it's definitely surprised me a little bit. I didn't no idea what this game was, but it's on my radar now. I'll take a look at it.
Yeah,
Next, you
for
got
sure.
Cat Quest 2: The Lupus Empire for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Now, I've actually seen this game a little bit, and I don't really know much about the first one, but the art style of this looks absolutely fucking adorable. Like, and it's getting a lot of good buzz right now, and
Yeah.
so it's on my radar. I'm trying to look at the combat right now. I want to say it's like turn-based, but judging by the looks of it, it kind of has a very cool kind of level design, art style. You're going through dungeons. You go have an overworld.
Yeah, and if you played the first one, you're probably gonna like the
Well, I
second
never
one.
played the first. Did you?
No, I always saw it. I always like saw like the advertisements for it. I think the first one was a mobile game. Uh, and I don't know about this one. I guess this was releasing all over the place, but
Well, this one
for the most part, I think I remember the first one being a mobile
I
game.
might
But
I might have
so
to give it a legit shot. So next we got Medieval, kind of spelled medieval. It's a classic remake of a game called
oh
Medieval
man,
that came out in like what,
yes,
PlayStation? It's now being re-released on
yeah, it came
PlayStation
out
4.
on original PlayStation. Yeah, yeah. So this one I'm actually really excited for. Me and my brother used to play this game all the fucking time on the original PlayStation. So they actually had a demo for this game, and I think we talked. I probably did talk about it on a previous podcast where I was like, hey, go download the demo because it was like only a limited time only that you could play it, and it is like that demo had me fucking sold, dude. Like it totally brought back all of the feelings of the original and just all of the aesthetic of the original and I think if you again, and I'll say this like how I did with Crash and Spyro, if you didn't play them back in the day, that nostalgia factor might not be there for you, so it makes it not entirely worth it. Like definitely wait for a deep sale or something like that or a rental. But if you played Medieval back in the day, this one is fucking sick. Like they really did an excellent job remaking this game. And as a person that was like big into Medieval when I was a kid, super stoked. And it's perfect time for Halloween. So
Good release strategy in my opinion. Next,
yeah,
you have Call of Duty Modern Warfare for all the obvious, you know,
all the big boy games up here. Yeah, Modern Warfare, of course. Yeah, everyone knows that's coming out, and everyone knows, hey, you're getting Call of Duty.
it's Call of Duty. They've done I think they've
Yeah,
done a miraculous job with the new graphics in terms of how the main characters look in the cutscenes and stuff like that, and the details that put into them. That kind of shocked me.
and
I'm
all
not
the
a big
non
Call of Duty
DLC
guy,
stuff,
but it looks like they put a little bit of they've decided to
effort.
effort to change things up. It's not just the same old engine kind of telltale, you know, bullshit. So that's cool.
Yeah,
Um,
all free DLC and all that stuff that we talked about earlier too.
the next one is the one I'm most excited for is the Outer Worlds
Hell
coming out for PC,
yeah.
PS4, Xbox One on the 25th. Holy cow! Like I'm already gonna pick it up on Game Pass. It's Fallout in space as far as I can tell. So
Yeah, pretty much. And it looks sick, and especially, matter of fact, I think it looks better to me than Fallout because IGN actually came out with a video where they're showing a little bit of the character creation. You're able to choose backgrounds. It's like totally made, like you could tell, like Obsidian has its hands in this because it's a little more RPG in my opinion. Like Fallout, they try to mix the whole RPG plus the shooting, and then you have VATS. This, it looks like you're actually able to shoot people without VATS like in Fallout. But man, the RPG elements on this is like super vast. Like the conversation choices that you get and based on all your stats is like man, I love it. Like, and that's another reason like I like games like Kingdom Come Deliverance. Like I just love. I'm not. Like I guess I'm just a numbers guy. Like I just love things like D&D and this and like where you just have all these stats and all these numbers and it's really cool to see them like play out in action. So yeah, no, no, we're both super excited. I can't talk highly enough about this game enough. Like, we're all both getting
oh,
it. We're both
absolutely,
gonna be playing
yeah.
it Friday.
It's gonna
Like,
be
it's gonna be
great.
awesome.
I mean, we hope.
Mhm.
But that's it. That's it for the
Yeah.
games this week. I mean, there was a few others that were just kind of like smaller games that I felt like weren't relevant to bring up. But but no, I mean it's an exciting week. You got Call of Duty, Outer Worlds. You got Cat
Yeah,
Quest 2,
huge
which looks
week.
nice. WWE 2K20.
And
Moons
if
of
you like any of the
Madness.
Trials games, yeah, Moons of Madness. If you're big into
The Legend
horror,
of
you have Medieval remake.
Yeah,
Oh man.
Medieval remake and Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3. Those are probably
Yeah.
the biggest releases I can see on this list right now. So
Yeah, that's those are all huge releases. So, uh, on to the next segment. I normally do about like a clickbaity title here, but I've decided to just kind of nix that. I stopped trying to like I stopped following those type of like articles I hated from like video games journalism type stuff, and I said that in quotations. Uh, so what I decided to do instead is to get rid of that segment and kind of give like a huge like what the fuck, like what are people thinking type of news segment here. And this one is really fucked up.
wow.
So this comes from IGN, Joseph Nope, uh, and the title is "Streamer claims he has leaked copies of Modern Warfare, selling them for $250 a piece." The game literally comes out like fucking Friday, dude. I just don't get it. I don't get it. So quote. A man claims he has multiple copies of Call of Duty Modern Warfare well before its October 25th public street date, and that he intends to sell them for $250 a piece. He's one of at least two individuals on social media who claim to have acquired copies of the game, according to Eurogamer. And so let me just kind of describe this a little bit. They have a picture up from his Instagram, and it looks like a bunch of fucking Redbox copies, man. Like literally just a bunch of Redbox copies of Modern Warfare. And uh, he actually says on so the guy's name was Von Gart Garcon or Garson, either way, however you want to pronounce it. So he said that he bought the copies, but he's not aware of how they were originally obtained. And he also pretty much stated that he doesn't work at Redbox because Redbox also kind of clapped back and said like, "Hey, those are like Redbox copies, like straight up. They come in that like clear plastic case. Have you ever like rented a movie or a game from Redbox, Rob?"
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that clear box
Yeah,
case
yeah.
with like the kind of the barcodes in the
It's just
center.
very
It
basic.
looks exactly like that. But who the fuck would buy a copy of Modern Warfare only a week prior? Like this was like not that long ago that he
Dude,
posted this up
popular stuff,
that
man. Someone
for
who's got the money, why
200
not?
for $250, like who would wait for something like that? Would you ever invest in something like that?
No, no, because I don't have the money. But if I had the money,
Yeah.
maybe.
I mean
To
that
play
shit
the
is just
outer world.
absolutely bonkers to
What if the
me.
outer world was, and you money wasn't exactly a huge issue for you? So yeah, why not?
I mean, I guess. And then I imagine they're not even turning the servers on, so you probably can't play multiplayer.
Well,
So
yeah,
you're
you
really
wouldn't
just
have
playing
anyone to play
the single
multiplayer with,
player. And
so you'd really just be playing the
yeah,
single player. Yeah.
exactly. Which, like, I guess I know they are bringing a campaign for this one. Like you said, the campaign does look pretty awesome. But like to pay $250 to play it early for a campaign, I don't know.
Someone
It's
will do
fucking
it.
ridiculous. And don't fucking believe these people. Don't buy their shitty games that they pretty much got offhand. That they don't know where it's from. They got it. They're trying to resell it back to you. Don't buy this shit. Don't do it. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and end today's show. So thank you guys for listening, and as always, have a good one.
See you guys.